Hear the click and flash of bulbs down there. We're waiting for the nod from Chris. We'll get... and we'll hand down to Chris Boyd.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome to the opening podium press conference of TT 2017, powered by Monster Energy. In third place this afternoon in the RST Superbike TT, Dean Harrison for Silicone Engineering Kawasaki. Our runner-up, Peter Hickman for Smiths Racing BMW, and our winner for Tyco BMW, Ian Hutchinson. And let's go straight to Ian. That's a cracking way to start TT 2017.
Yeah, just been the strangest race, practice week, first race, everything that I've ever been involved with, really. I mean, we've all struggled for laps this week, and then we got loads and loads of laps yesterday, but going into the race with some small changes and stuff, I was a bit lost on lap one, and my first board was P4, which I was quite expecting because I've been struggling to Glen Helen, and then for the first couple of laps I didn't really know what the gap was to the leader, and you know, Dean's just said that he was leading from the start, so he was setting a great pace there, and then obviously I've had a bit of luck with a few people going out in the race, but everything was changing all the time, and I just didn't know what to think in the race. On lap one I wanted to pack in because I just didn't have a bike that I felt like I could actually push to win for, which feels disappointing when I was, you know, I was really happy with stuff before, and then I thought it's a TT, it's 6 laps, just keep digging in. There's another race on Friday that we need to learn a lot for, and you know, I just thank God I did keep digging in.
We'll come back to you and get a full reaction in just a moment. We'll go over to Dean in third place, and that's almost an unexpected podium, is it?
I don't know what you mean. What are you trying to say?
Well, just take us through the race. You were leading for the opening couple of laps.
Yeah, no, to be fair, the practice week we had wasn't ideal. We had a few technical engine issues through the week, and I spent a bit of time spectating on the mountain, to be honest, and got stuck out there, which is frustrating. And we sort of built the bike best we could for the race day, and we just thought, suck it and see. The bike had never turned a wheel with what engine and stuff we've added until this morning. Did a session on the dyno, and then we set off down Braille. So I just got the head down from the start, really, and let's say I led for, I think, 4 laps, I think, which I was...
Into the first pit stop, certainly.
Someone's trying to wind me up with some pit boards clearly around the track. But no, I got the head down, then I started to drop a bit, but I did struggle from mid-race distance, to be honest. From lap 3 onwards, I had a few problems that we really need to look at to make a better do of it on Friday, but over the moon, to be honest. Well,
you only lost the lead in the first pit stop, sort of 5 seconds slower than Ian in that pit stop, but for that you would still have been leading going out of here.
Well, there you go, then. I need to give the boys a kick up the arse and say, I need to get sort the pit stop out.
And later on through the race, the bike you dropped away to 4th place at one point on the 5th lap.
Yeah, I did. To be honest, I caught some... I saw a crash, actually, at Greba Castle. I hope it's all right. And I thought, oh, Jesus Christ, that looked a bit harsh. You know what I mean? I thought about it quite a bit, and you should never do that, and I did do for some reason. I think it slowed me down, to be honest. It did slow me down. And it took me a few miles to get my brain back into gear. And then I caught a few back marks up in a few tricky places, and it's like you're sort of waiting to get past, because the last thing you want to do is a lunge round here. And I got past, and then I sort of got my rhythm back again. Because after going through Grebe with all the yellow flags, I kept missing my apexes through Glenelg and stuff like that, and I got really frustrated. And the more frustrated you get, the more mistakes you make. And I almost need to take a step back to take the 2 forward again. And then I got back into a rhythm again. Then I got back to 3rd, and I started pulling a bit of a gap on 4th. Then, so it was my own fault, that, to be honest.
And were you getting boards throughout the latter part of the race? They were just all over the place, presumably.
No, my boards were really good, to be fair. They had a board just after Ballarth, Sulby, and one on the Uphill Woods Rise, just after the bungalow. And the boards every lap were absolutely perfect, to be fair.
Well, the position's not changing every single board you were getting.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I was thinking it was like musical chairs going around there then, but no, I don't really know. I'm over the moon, to be honest. I'm quite shocked.
Plenty to come on Friday, maybe.
Yeah, there's plenty of races to go through the week. Hopefully the rain stays away and we'll get the head down in the other races. So, spot on.
Congratulations, Peter Hickman, a first ever TT podium.
Yeah, well, happy. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's. I've said it a few times. I felt like I should have had a podium in the senior last year, and unfortunately got let down. But no such problems this year. Everything's been working really, really good. Shame we've not had a massive amount of time on the bikes this week, but it's the same for everyone. And I was my usual self on the first lap. I was like 7th after Glen Helen. I tend to take a little bit of time to get into things, especially on the big bikes around here. I think just mainly because I've not got that much experience here, really. So I'm always a little bit cautious, and You know, I've never actually even ran pit boards until this year. This is the first time I've ever ran pit boards, and it, like you said already, it changed every 5 minutes more than anything. But really, really happy, to be quite honest. Bike never missed a beat. Team were really good and slick in the pit stops, and yeah, just really, really happy.
Did you get any information to say you were within 1.5 seconds of Ian at Ramsey?
Yeah, it said -2, so I knew I was only 2 seconds behind coming onto the mountain, so that got me a little bit excited. But I know how fast Ian is over the mountain anyway, so I just tried to hit all my points and do as best I could, and you know, to come away with a second in the first race of the week is it's perfect.
Your fastest lap was lap 6, 131.103. There's probably quite a lot left in that, given the lack of practice time.
Yeah, again, lack of practice time is really what's slowing us all up. You know, I don't know what all the other laps were, obviously, but I'm sure they were fairly steady compared to where we were at this point last year. No, the bike's working really, really good. Dunlop tyres are working mega. You know, Olin's have been real good with us this week. You know, they really want to get the bike right, and yeah, their input's been absolutely faultless.
And we don't really want to come to this point, but you won the race on the road. You lost the race by 5 seconds, and you lost 8 seconds across the 2 pit stops.
Well, again, they're going to have to get a kick up the arse as well, aren't they? Nah, it's just one of them things, you know. Everything's slick, and I felt the boys did a real good job, to be quite honest. There's always a bit of a discrepancy between fillers, so maybe our filler wasn't quite as fast as others, but I'm happy enough. You know, I never really rush into the pit lane or out the pit lane either. It's not something that I feel that you can always gain a lot or lose a lot. So, and the last thing I want to do is go just over that 60 kilometres an hour, I think, because we know what happens then.
But this sets you up perfectly for the rest of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the first race out of the way, no major problems, and just hope everyone who fell down in that race is okay, really.
Okay, many congratulations. And Ian, if it was bad news for Peter in the pits, it was great work from the Tyco team.
Yeah, I was pretty miserable with them last year about the pit stops, but they've definitely worked on that. You know, we were practicing them through the week. As soon as it wasn't raining, we were down the driveway practicing them at 9 o'clock this morning. So, you know, it's definitely paid off doing that, and I needed every bit of it, really. There was the accident at Greba Castle with the yellow flags, and it's so hard to try and determine what speed you can go through there, and every bit of credit to all medical staff and marshals that trust us to be able to keep racing past them, because, you know, they were working in the road for probably 4 laps there with us coming past them, and on the last lap myself and James caught a back marker running right into it, and the back marker obviously went through a lot slower than we would, and I knew it was going to be a problem. I came down the mountain with plus 11 seconds and got to Glen Helen +2, so I really had to start going then. But you know, to keep the race going, like I say, I seen him working on the rider, and I hope he's okay. And he was in the road for probably 4 laps, and it could have been quite easy for him just to stop it and sort that out. So I appreciate everybody that's done that for us.
And in terms of traffic, you and James were having a right run round for almost the entire race.
Yeah, I mean, he come past me, and the problem with the big bikes these days is the slipstream sends them crazy. So I seen one of his pit boards when he passed me, and he was -1 from P3, so I had 10 at the time, so I didn't want to upset him not getting a podium, and I didn't want to start losing time, and then I just couldn't ride behind him, so I had to get past. My bike was going all over the place in the slipstream, and I couldn't see the curbs, so I got back past again, and then he come past again. It was frustrating, but there were plenty of back markers getting involved in it all, and just a usual 6-lap race round here.
I was going to say, you had traffic with James, if you like, through the race, and then you came into traffic with later starters.
Yeah, whenever you come across traffic, you know, you've got to understand that everyone else will, and there were a couple of late ones just over the mountain that I knew Peter was never going to get to, but he probably had riders at the start that I never got, so, you know, it balances out, and years gone by I've really panicked about back markers, but you've just got to do your best and respect them and be safe getting past them and keep smooth more than anything.
And in terms of the tyres, the big swap to Dunlop worked straight away, straight out of the box.
Yeah.
Pressure off.
Thank God.
That was very much your call, wasn't it?
It was my call, and even the bike, you know, I did all my winter testing on the bike, pretty much how I raced here last year, and 2 weeks before the Northwest, the team built me a brand new bike, which is basically a super stock bike with a Superbike engine. That's it, so it was either going to work or not work, but it was my choice. They did it, they went with it, and, you know, massive thanks to them for trusting what I thought was going to work.
And for the team, it is their first big bike win here at the TT since Cameron Donald in 2008. So I know last year you were saying you were desperate to get a big bike win for the
Yeah,
Tyco
I
team.
mean, they've definitely deserved it. You look at all the past, racing that the TAS team have done round here, and then to lead the BMW charge over here, they've put a lot of effort in. The bikes look 1,000,000% every time I come up to them, and when you walk up to a bike that looks good, it makes you want to win on it, and that's what they do.
And that's what you want to keep doing for the rest of the week?
Certainly do.
There we go, we'll leave it there. Our podium today, in third place, Dean Harrison. Our runner-up, Peter Hickman. Now a 15-time TT winner, Ian Hutchinson.
Indeed, Chris Boyd, and well done to our top three there. Ian Hutchinson, the winner. Dean Harrison's also on the podium in third, and Peter Hickman is second. A lot of sidecars going away. Let's join Chris down there on the start line.
Yeah, Tim, they've left in the order that they're going to be starting. Then numbers 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.